I was marathoning the Die Hard movies today, and I was watching all of them for the first time, and something I noticed was, as Bruce Willis's hairline receded, he seemed to become more superhuman, so I'm just waiting for myself to go bald now so I could just become Superman, you know, I think that's how it works. A Good Day to Die Hard is a movie that follows Bruce Willis back as John McClane, and he goes to Russia to find his son Jack, who's played by Jai Courtney. They're Russians that are evil, and they want to do bad things, and there's double crosses, and, yeah. If you didn't understand what I was just talking about, good, because I have no idea what this movie was about. Like I said in my intro, I was watching the Die Hard movies today for the first time, so as I was going through them, I actually got more and more excited for the new one that came out tonight, because the movies were actually really good. Die Hard 1 is fantastic, it's a classic. Die Hard 2, I didn't like that much. It was fine, but it was just the same movie in an airport. Die Hard 3, that was my personal favorite. It was just so much fun. And Die Hard 4, I liked a lot, in spite of what a lot of people say about it. I think it still worked as a Die Hard movie. It was very fun, entertaining. Timothy Olyphant was great as the villain. So this movie, it's just a fucking mess. And I say that about certain movies, but this movie is genuinely just all over the place. I'm gonna go over the things I liked first and then get to the bad, because there's a lot of bad. I still like Bruce Willis as John McClane. He's very entertaining in this role. He always has been, and he always likely will be. He does become more of a superhuman, and in this movie, I don't understand what's going on, but I found it kind of funny that there's just an old guy with a machine gun. He doesn't even have it aimed down the sights. He's just sitting there at the waist, like it's a friggin' Tommy gun, because, you know, those are accurate. He's just shooting it all over the place, killing everyone. It was kind of funny, but at the same time, it was kind of sad. And Jai Courtney as his son, I thought did very well in this role. I thought he was an interesting character to counteract Bruce Willis's kind of cocky or funny, sarcastic character. And I liked their banter they had going back and forth. At the start, it was just kind of, oh, his son is angry at him, and then they started forming this relationship throughout the movie, and that was enjoyable to watch on screen. I don't want to spoil it, but there's not one specific villain in this movie. There's just a bunch of them, and it's a mess. That's one of the biggest giant things I hated about this movie, is there was never a full-on villain that you could really start getting to know, because they just did things every 10 minutes. It just changed everything up. And there was the one villain in the trailer that was talking about how he hates America in the most generic way possible. All he was a carrot-chewing faggot with no personality, and all he did was just sit there yelling, I hate America, and then nothing ever happens. His character is so boring. And that happens with every single villain in this movie. Every other villain in the movie is just some old Russian guy who has facial hair and, you know, and he wants nukes and uranium and what's going on? John Moore directed this movie, and John Moore can go fuck himself, because he just ruined Die Hard. He ruined Max Payne. I haven't played Max Payne, but everyone says he ruined it, and I dislike the movie, so that's enough for me to say he ruined Max Payne. And this movie just ruins everything that was cool about Die Hard. You don't have John McClane stuck in these situations where you don't know if he'll actually be able to get out of them, because he's just a superhero now. Yes, John McClane does have some one-liners, but he doesn't have that overall wit that the other Die Hard movies had. And the action in the movie, ugh, it's so bad. What I really liked about the original Die Hard movies was the fact that they used mostly stunt work for the entire action sequences, which made them more enjoyable, because there's actually people there doing these things instead of just CGI creating the sets, creating the people, creating all the action, and I lost the ability to snap. Cool. And in Live Free and Die Hard, there was some CGI involved, but it wasn't overbearing to the point where it was just all CGI action. In this movie, it's just CGI action. Yes, there is one kind of cool car chase that goes on for way too long, but it didn't have the Die Hard feel. The action in the movie, none of this movie had a Die Hard feel. And all the Die Hard movies gave themselves room to develop characters and have witty dialogue in them, and they were all about 2 hours long. This movie is an hour and a half, and it just keeps going with this rapid fire action. You never develop the characters, and it never makes you care about anybody in the movie. The only reason I cared was because I cared about John McClane from the other previous movies. It's funny, there was this one scene where Jack and John were getting ready to go in and fight the bad guys. So he asks his son, so do you have a plan? And he's like, no, let's just make up this shit as we go along, which is what I think the scriptwriters did, because this movie has no idea, it doesn't have a real plot, it just keeps going along and along to each action sequence just to show cool, pretty effects and explosions. A Good Day to Die Hard is not a movie I ever want to see again. I'd rather just go back and watch the other three. I don't really care to watch Die Hard 2 either. Just because I like the father-son relationship, I'm gonna push this up to a D+. Not worth your time, not an enjoyable movie. The action sucks, the writing sucks, it's not witty, it's not entertaining, it's a bore, the villains suck. I'm done. So what'd you guys think of A Good Day to Die Hard? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? What's the order that you would rank the Die Hard movies? Mine would be this one at the bottom, then Die Hard 2, then Die Hard 4, then Die Hard, then Die Hard 3. I recognize that Die Hard is a classic and it's probably a little bit better made than Die Hard 3, but the overall enjoyment factor of adding in Samuel L. Jackson, and then the entire chase they go on in the movie, I just loved it, so I'm gonna go with Die Hard 3 as my favorite. Write beautiful comments down there and tell me what you think, and if you like this video, hit that subscribe button down there, because if you don't, fuck John Moore. Seriously, I hate him.